If you're a real estate agent that wants to get leads from Instagram in 2025, but feels like you need to hire a video production company for several $1,000s a month so that you can stay consistent and so that you don't spend hours creating content, well, I got some good news for you because you don't have to spend thousands per month for a video production company to do it for you. And you can spend just a few hours every single week doing it yourself and be more effective and actually utilize Instagram as a viable content strategy. My name is Jimmy, and I actually come from the background of a video production, video agency where I was doing content for real estate agents on both YouTube and Instagram. And after doing that for a few years, we weren't really getting many results. My clients weren't really getting any followers, definitely weren't getting any leads. And there was a lot of flaws with that model. There's one main problem that I was solving, which is I can help you stay consistent and you're not going to spend any time doing it. However, when the goal is to actually get leads, it wasn't working. So 7 months ago, I actually became a real estate agent and actually started generating my leads on Instagram, doing something completely different than what I was paying people to do or what people were paying me to do. And the reason is because I did some research and started to understand that the real estate agents that were having success on Instagram weren't talking to the camera like this. They were actually focused less on real estate and more on the lifestyle. So when I got my license, that's what I focused on. And in the last 7 months, I've gained over 19,000 followers, have 8 people under contract, worth $5.3 million, only utilizing my cell phone, a $30 microphone, and a $700 drone. So let's jump into why you don't need to hire a video production company and how to actually do it on your own more effectively. All right, so there are 2 types of real estate agents that generate leads on Instagram. Let me do that again. There are 2 types of real estate agents generating leads on Instagram. The first type are the people that are hiring video production agencies. So production. These people are mainly staying top of mind utilizing Instagram. Therefore, they are meeting people offline, either through referrals, past clients, maybe face-to-face interactions. And so they're meeting people offline. These are your traditional marketing strategies. And then they come and find them on Instagram. And then they see some content, they see some more content, they see some more content, and then they come out the other side. And that's essentially the funnel. Some common characteristics with a real estate agent like this is they're doing a lot of talking head. Their videos usually get anywhere from 100 to maybe like 5 to 10,000 views. And then their following is usually anywhere from like 100 to 5 to 10,000 followers. And there's no conversion side to this. There's just a front facing, I'm going to create content up here, but I have no way of actually converting that attention into actual leads. Okay. So the second type of agent on Instagram is actually generating business and utilizing Instagram to generate leads, nurture their audience, and then convert those leads into actual paying clients. So what are they doing? They know how to create content that reaches more people. So instead of offline, these are all cold people from Instagram. They are building their actual personal brand on Instagram. These people, their views are anywhere from 5,000 to many million. So we'll say 2 million. Their followings is anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000. These people know what they're doing in terms of they are a media first company. And then but they also just happen to sell real estate. These people have an ideal client. They have systems in place to create content. They have systems in place to take attention into actual conversion. And the type of content that you're going to see from these people is a lot of text on screen. So the people on the right-hand side are going to utilize more of shorter content, less talking head. The people on this left-hand side are doing more talking head, shorter content, longer content. Maybe there's something to it. But here's the biggest problem that I see is that the people over here on the left-hand side, these people don't really have an ideal client. They're creating very generic type content that reaches everybody versus actually focusing on the messaging. Their main focus is that I don't want to spend time creating content and I need to post consistently. So therefore, you just have someone else do it. That's why you can't hire someone to really do your marketing for you. I mean, the last thing you should give away is the way that you actually create leads. So I would venture to guess that a lot of these people aren't actually generating the majority of their business from social media in general. They have built their business off their sphere and referrals and past clients, and that's why it is the way it is. So you may be asking, well, if these people over here just focus on short content, why don't these people over here just focus on short content? Well, the thing is that if you're hiring someone for $2,000 to $5,000 per month, then the value that everyone thinks you're providing is something different than like, could you imagine if you paid someone $3,000 a month and all they did was post some text on the screen video? It was just a 2-second video. Like, you wouldn't feel like you're getting the value, even though you are probably getting more value. The problem is that most of these video production companies don't really understand who your ideal client is, because the whole model for a video production agency is just like, I need to spend the least amount of time doing the thing that gets me paid. I mean, that's kind of what business is. We need to decrease our expenses to increase our profits. Well, that's what we can do over here, which is, how do I spend the least amount of time creating content that gets the best results? We can do that over here, but it doesn't really work over here on this side. Here's one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had that most video production agencies cannot really work with, which is when you have a content idea like this, there's many different ways to communicate that idea. Now, most people who run a video production company, there's only one way that they communicate a video production idea. That's going to be, okay, I'm going to create a video. That's great. But then when I create that video, there's many different ways to actually then create that video. But what most agencies are going to do is going to say, I'm going to create lights. Or I'm going to put up lights. We're going to do a studio shoot, right? Light studio. Okay, so we're going to do a talking head. That's how we're going to communicate it. However, when you do your own thing, you can create content whatever way you want. And the beauty of this is you start to understand, well, maybe people don't actually want to consume content in just talking head. What I realized was that my ideal client a lot of times is a woman that's buying a house. And a lot of times she doesn't want to watch my ugly mug talking, so she actually wants to read. So the idea that we need to create videos showing our face to build the connection because of the eyes and the face and the smiling and all that is actually kind of fake, because a lot of times people just want to read a caption. So you open up your mind when you're like, okay, so if I want to create a piece of content, I can do a video. I could also do a photo, but we just know it doesn't really work. So I'm just going to do a video. Now that I chose a video, what if I just did short text on screen, right? I could do that. What if I did maybe like a multi-clip highlight, right? Like a lot of different ways. You get the point. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you hire someone, this is all they're really going to do. They're going to focus on just this, when in reality, you're kind of not testing out everything, where it's like, well, what if people want to consume content in a different way? Not to mention the 80-20 rule. Like, what is the 20% of the work that's going to get me the 80% results? So if I can do a video myself that's just text on the screen, it's 4 to 7 seconds long. It only takes me 20 minutes of my time. And because I live the life of my ideal client, I already have the B-roll in my phone. I just put the text on the video. I write a caption. I'm in and out in 30 to 40 minutes. That's the 20%. And because it's a shorter video, it loops when people read the caption. And because I know my ideal client, people actually read the caption. Then they then comment on the video to get my relocation guide. Then I reach out to them because they actually downloaded or commented for my guide. I know they're interested in real estate. And now it's up to me to determine what is this person's buying intent. That is the 20% that brings the 80% results. When you just hire someone to do this, you're giving away all the power and control of them knowing your ideal client. Here is your Instagram strategy for 2025. You're going to post content within 3 buckets. It's going to be your local content. It's going to be your real estate content. And it's going to be your connection content. Now, within each of those content buckets, you can either create a short 1-clip video, with text on the screen. You can create a multi-clip highlight, or you can create a longer talking head. Okay? And that's for each of those categories. So this is more like short, medium, long. Okay, so we have our 3 buckets and we have our 3 types of videos, but how are we going to actually turn that into conversations? Every time you post about your local content, and what is local content? Local content is events, it's things happening. It's things that your local audience would be into, things to do. It's going to be kind of businesses. Excuse my handwriting. Okay, what about the multi-clip? The multi-clip highlight is more of a compilation of different clips in your phone. And when you understand your ideal client and you start to understand psychology and prompts in general, which is just text on the screen, then you can start to create these multi-clip highlights. So, but we're talking about conversation. So anytime you post about real estate, you're going to use ManyChat to offer up the listing details. Okay. Anytime you have your connection type content, you're going to use ManyChat. Boop. Getting sloppy. To offer up your guide of some sort. I really don't care what it is. Okay, now you got a way to actually convert. You have a conversion side of this. And something you might think, well, then am I going to spend time in, having conversations? It's like, yeah, you're trying to utilize Instagram to be a lead source, right? Like you can't just be relying on inbound DMs. If you're just relying on inbound DMs, then it's no different than relying on inbound referrals. Don't be the guy making 200 grand a year that's concerned his entire real estate business is going to implode because it's only based on past clients and referrals. That's all I got for you today. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, give me a follow on Instagram. Send me the word grow. DM me the word grow if you want help doing something like this. Let's make 2025 the best year yet. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.